Yo, what's up, boys? Zoran Trades here, and this is the trade recap of the trade that I took today on Friday, the 3rd of October. This is the second trade and the only other trade that I took this week. Took two trades this week, this is the second one. And yeah, let's get into it. So I made 2% trading this, 2% on my account trading this trade today. And as I saw yesterday, after sweeping a 4-hour fair value gap down here, I'm not going to go onto the 4-hour and find it. After sweeping this 4-hour fair value gap here, the next drawn liquidity that we had was all-time highs. And with that being our next drawn liquidity, I was generally looking for a continuation trade on the all-time highs day during the New York session. Because based on backtesting, I know that you will get faded if you try and short all-time highs most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time. And yeah, for that reason, I wanted to take a continuation trade on today during all-time highs, even though we did trade into a high being the high that we put in. No, that is all-time highs right there, yeah. That's the high that we swept. Even though we did sweep all-time highs, I was looking for longs, even though if that was any other high, I would have been looking for shorts. Because all-time highs, as I said in my last trade recap, does tend to affect the market differently because people see that it's at all-time highs and then FOMO into it and then buy, rather than it just being generally overvalued and then people wanting to sell. And yeah, so let's get into it. The way I trade continuations is pretty much the same as how I trade reversals, except the PD array or like reversal point that I'll be looking for is not going to be like London or Asia lows or a 4-hour high or low, but rather I'm going to be looking for internal structure that I can then continue off. So here I would have either looked for a 5-minute or a 15-minute pullback, both of which would have worked. This 15-minute was after the session low, so I took the 5. And yeah, I'm looking for a 5-minute pullback into, so a 5-minute fair value gap to get traded into for us to obviously continue higher. And then with that 5-minute fair value gap, that's basically my higher time frame level. And then inside that leg that sweeps the fair value gap, I want to see a 1, 2, or 3-minute inversion higher out of that, or yeah, higher out of that, but it's only going to be higher. So here we can see, just turn off my New York session, remove drawing. Okay, so the 5-minute fair value gaps we had in this session were here. Let me just put it on the right template there, and there. So these are the 5-minute fair value. I mean, I can just mark out all of them, but these were the 5-minute fair value gaps that we had. Obviously, here I couldn't have really gotten stopped out when these got pulled back into, because I don't just enter on the gap. I enter when the gap gets traded into and then traded back out of and then respected in that sense. So the only time I would have been able to take a trade would have been here at 11:50, and obviously I didn't take that. So the trade that I did take was during the New York session right here, and it was this fair value gap. So this 5-minute fair value gap here, as we see, we traded into it and then traded back out of it. And when this 5-minute fair value gap here got traded into, after that we had a very clean 1-minute inversion out of it. So that was over here, and then I entered on this inversion when we closed above it right there. Stop loss at this, protect at these bodily lows, and then take profit just at a fixed 1-to-1. And yeah, I went break even at this high. Let me just type that out. Break even. And yeah, that's about it. That's the trade that I took today. Was out of a 5-minute fair value gap. 5-minute fair value gap, 1-minute inversion out of the leg. Targeting 2%, as I said, because it's all-time highs, I'm only going to be looking to take a continuation trade. I'm not going to be fading all-time highs, even though there was a trade here which my co-partner did catch. I didn't trade that, but he did catch a short here, so there was a 5-minute gap there. Got inversed on the one, and then clean shorts down to about here. Nice draw here to target. And yeah, that's about it. That's the trade that I took today. We did rebalance quite a little bit, but if we could look to take some, maybe if news does drop, because obviously there's a government shutdown, so the news is coming out delayed. If some news does come out on the weekend and then the market reacts to it on Monday, if that brings us maybe a couple 100 points down, then we could be looking to short and long the market again. But for now, in this range here, while we're still, let me just go into the 4 hour, while we're still consolidating here, like pushing towards all-time highs, obviously the next PDRA for us to take is this gap here, so price is likely to trade into it and then back higher until we rebalance some of this range here. I think I'm just going to be either staying out of the market, especially with the government shutdown, or I'm going to be taking continuations, but very high probability continuations, meaning that there isn't very many draws on liquidity to the downside. And yeah, that's the trade that I took today, and that's the second trade that I took this week, and the only 2 trades that I took this week as I posted. And yeah, hope that's helpful for everybody who's popping into these, and I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Much love.